I feel like I'm leaning crooked. I think the camera is. And so it's making me feel like I'm leaning crooked. Well. I'm sorry, y'all. Welcome back to Shay's Hobby Dog Bay. Okay, there's a lot of things going on right now with me and in my brain. Number one, I'm tired and I'm sleepy. Whew. I got woke up at 5 something this morning and couldn't go back to sleep. And I am so tired and so sleepy. But yet, I even tried to go lay down, y'all. To go back to sleep and take a nap and do this video afterward. But I can't get this video off of my mind. I am so excited about this. I have got to get this video made and get it put up. And then maybe I can go lay down and rest and take a nap. Another thing, I have a headache. Another thing, I just ate lunch and I ate too much. So I am miserable. And all of this is making me uncomfortable. The miserableness, the headache, the tiredness and sleepiness. And I wanted to do this video, and I wanted to be in a excited, happy, cheerful, go-lucky mood when I did it, you know, and I'm not. I'm still trying to be, but I'm not quite all the way there, you know, because I'm miserable with all this other stuff going on. Okay, and just be warned, this is going to be at least a part 2 video series. Because, you know me, look what all I'm saying now, and this has nothing to do with what the main video is about. And I take forever anyway, so it's always parts, so it'll be parts, so just be warned. It's already parts anyway, it won't be parts 1 and 2, it's probably going to be parts 5 and 6, because, you know, I've already got parts of it up. Anyway, I'm here by myself as of right now. I still feel like that needs to go back some. Hubby's at work, of course. Elizabeth did not have to go to work yet. She's got to go in at 2 o'clock, I think. But she has been in and out to the store, back home, and then she's left again. I think went to her house. I think Albert's working on it. So Katie's not working today, so I don't have my Gracie today. But Katie says she's doing good. You know, since her fall and skinning her face up, that she's, you know, I'm sure it's still sore and hurts at times, and Katie's putting cream on it, but she's playing and everything, so, my poor baby. Whew, I wish I wasn't so miserable in my tummy. Alright, to the video now, after 3 minutes and something, almost 4 minutes in. Okay, this is about the new fun ideal that I had. Remember the first video I was in the car going to Goodwill and then all of that? Okay, so now, and I gotta dry my eyes, so just hang tight. Waste a little more time here. Alright, it is all ready. Everything is all fixed and set up. And we are ready to launch this thing and get going with it. Are y'all ready? Okay, so first off, I'm going to tell you some more about how this ideal was born into my head. I hope that I can remember everything that I want to say and not forget anything, leave anything out. Sometimes I have done that. I don't have notes wrote down. I try to write notes, and then that gets stressful to me and hard, and I can't do it. I don't know why. I don't understand it. So it seems like, well, you'll do better if you get on video and just do it. But then a lot of times I just leave some things out that I really wanted to tell. But if I think of something I left out, I'll come back and make another video and tell you. And I'm the type of person too, I don't know why, but I feel like I need to tell, y'all let me know if anybody else is like this. I feel like I need to tell when I'm going to explain something that I need to do it in a certain order, the way that it should be done or how I think it should be done. But yet, so that makes me feel like, well, I need to take notes so I can get all that right. But then it's stressful and hard to do notes. But then, you know, if I feel like if I don't do that or don't do it in order, that I'm just going to be scatterbrained all over the place with it. You know, I'll say some here, and then I'll forget something here and say more, and then here I'll say what I should have said here. You know, do y'all understand what I'm saying? I'm weird. I'm a stupid, crazy person. Alright. So, this ideal, actually, to be honest with you, all of my ideals I have dreamed up years ago, to be honest with you, or something years ago made me come up with them and think about doing them, and then I just never did do them, because it seemed like I've done other things before on these YouTube videos where I said, well, I thought of this years ago and just didn't never do it. Hadn't I done that several times? So anyway, back in the day, who remembers the movie The Traveling Blue Jeans? No, it wasn't The Traveling Blue Jeans, it's The Traveling Pants. Is that how it said? Anyway, so ever since that movie, and I watched that movie, I thought, that is a fun, neat idea. And so, you know, I thought, well, I don't wear pants, so I couldn't do it in that way. But what could I use to send traveling all over the world like that, to have fun like that? And then, you know, nothing ever came of it, and I never done anything. So then here a while back, the other day, before I made the first video, it was that day. I mean, when I watched it that day, that was it. I started thinking about it, and that was it. I went and got dressed and jumped in the car and went to Goodwill to start this thing off. I think this is the fastest I've ever gotten anything together, from the time I actually thought about it to the time I got it ready and actually put it up and started it. So anyway, I was watching this video, and I'm going to tell y'all, so if y'all would like to go check it out, you don't have to, but if you would like to go check it out, you can. It's, hang on. I'm going to bed and take a nap right after this. It is Elizabeth Brewer that made the video. That's the name of her YouTube channel, Elizabeth Brewer. And the video that she put up, it was put up 1 week ago, and it was 2 parts. So the name of the video is 1933 Jigsaw Puzzle Part 1. And really and truly, I think Part 1 is the only one you need to see. But Part 2, 1933 Jigsaw Puzzle Part 2. So if y'all would like to go check those out. She got this old vintage puzzle. It's a puzzle in a box, jigsaw puzzle that you put together. But it's an old vintage one, I think. And the reason I think it is, well, number one, it had the 1933 on there. But I'm miserable, y'all. I feel like I need to burp, but it wouldn't come. Anyway, I'm so stuffed and full. Anyway, so one thing that makes it seem like it's vintage is, you know how nowadays the puzzles, you have the picture on the lid of the box, the top of the box. You can see the picture of what the puzzle's going to be about, what you're putting together. This was an old box. It didn't have a picture on it. Okay? So she didn't know what the picture was. She didn't know what she was going to be putting together. And she started putting it together on video. Actually, she's got a separate video, the one where she opened her Happy Meal and received the box. And really and truly, that's where she really shows what is signed on the back of the box. That, if you know, that really got this going. So the ideal in my mind. So if y'all would like to see that one, that is, it's 2 videos before that. No, it ain't. It's 1. No, it ain't. 2 videos before that, it says, leaves are falling from Melissa's yard in Maine. Because it was one of her subbies, Melissa, that lives in Maine. Because Elizabeth lives in Florida. So her subby, Melissa, that lives in Maine, sent her some Happy Mail, and the puzzle was in it. So if you want to go see that one to see the back of the box, she shows it again in these others, but still yet, I don't know, it's just different. Okay, so, no picture on the box, and then another thing, when she, in her part 1 and part 2, where she opens it and starts putting it together, she even says that it's not interlocking pieces. Okay, so they do have, they're cut and they're rounded like smooth, but they do have like the little holes and then the little tab that goes in the hole. But, because I looked at it real good myself when she said that to see what she meant, and I can see and tell, like today's puzzles, you actually have to put that in there and it kind of snaps in there and locks in place. This one, no. Yes, it has the hole and it has the little tab that goes in there, but it just, you just kind of lay it up in there and it's just laying snug against each other. Is how this puzzle works and be put together. Okay, I know the puzzle has nothing to do with what I'm doing, because it's not a puzzle, it's something totally different. It's just what helped born the ideal. And I just wanted to explain about the puzzle to y'all. Okay, on the back, I'm not through with that. On the back of the puzzle box, there's some dates. It says original, November 1933. And then it has names. It says done by, and it has a name. And then it has the little lines like when it continues. So it was like in the year of 2033, 2 or 3 people put it together. And then, you know, another name, and then it was a different, I think it was, I can't remember the other dates, but the last date that it was put together was 1988. And so Elizabeth loved that ideal. So she said, I'm going to put this together and I'm going to sign the back of it and I'm going to pass it on to somebody else so they can do it. And she just kept talking about it. She says, I know a lot of y'all's going to want to do this. So if you want to be put on the list for this, let me know. Guess what? I told her to put me on the list for that. So she did. I'm on the list to receive the puzzle and put it together and sign it and send it to somebody else. But that is where this idea was born. I wanted to do something fun like that, but I didn't want to do exactly what she did by doing a puzzle. And so I wanted something different and more, you know, uniquer and funner and me and all this kind of stuff. So I kept thinking about it and I thought of something. So now, said all that, we're in 13 minutes now. Anyway, so what I have come up with is a traveling treasure box. I am naming it the traveling treasure box. Okay, now I had a box, but it was a Christmas box, and I didn't want it to be Christmassy. So I have covered it up with a pretty flowery napkin and Mod Podge. And I'm fixing to show you the box. I did the inside and the outside. Now, it is not the best. I am not real good at that. It's not all straight, flat, nice, even, smooth, and all that. It's wrinkled. Alright. And when I do anything and use Mod Podge in that way to kind of cover it and seal it, even after it dries, it's dry. I'm holding it, I'm touching it, I'm rubbing it. It's not wet anywhere. And it's not just sticky, but it has a little bit of a, I don't know how to say it, sticky tendency to it. That if something is touching it for very long at the time, it'll probably stick to it. And then when you pull it, it's going to tear the napkin off. I'm okay with that. I I did, some of you may recall, in Lacombe I made this big clipboard. It was a board, and I put scrapbook paper on it with Mod Podge, or covered it with Mod Podge because I wanted it to be slick and smooth and shiny, and seal it on there. And after the fact, and after it was dried, it was sticky, and my papers that I put on the clipboard was sticking to it, and when I pull it off, it was pulling my scrapbook paper off. So I'm just warning y'all about that. Okay, so I'm gonna, oh, and all of the box is not covered up. You can still see, you know, it wasn't enough of a napkin to cover all of it. And I know it's, in other words, it's a crappy, crafty job. But I'm okay with it. And, I mean, this box ain't gonna last forever. It's gonna have to be changed out, because guess what? It's gonna get wore out, number one, because remember, this thing's gonna last to the end of the world, to the end of time. You know, I want it to keep going and keep going and going and going and going. So it will wear out, okay? And it's going to get full to capacity to where it won't hold anything else. When that happens, whoever's got it's got to change to a different container, and that's okay. You know, and you fix up whatever kind of container you want. Eventually, it's going to get so big that we'll have to start leaving things out of it. The first things out of it. That only happens, you consult me before you do that. I know, I'm getting y'all confused. Okay. Let me show you the box. Okay? What side do I want to show you first? Alright, let's show you this side. See that side? That's the pretty flowery napkin. But notice how I folded it too. I ended up having to fold it slanted. Okay? So, like that. So you see more of the black part of the box, you know, because it's thinner here than here. Alright, but here's the box. There's one side of it. And there's the side, and this is where the whole box is not covered up. And then you turn it, and there's where the whole box is not covered up. I even covered the back, the bottom of it, I mean. And then I did the inside with a different napkin, and here's the inside. Now see how wrinkledy it looks on the inside? And, let me see, where's it at? I wanted to show y'all this. My napkin kind of started in here tearing. I think that's where it's at, yeah. So anyway, but it's good, it's dry. We're going to start out using it. It has a lid. Trying to see how it goes. Here's the lid, and the reason I was looking is because if you look close, you can see the snowman under there. So see, it didn't cover it all the way up. It was a Christmas box with a snowman on it. So there's the lid. There's the inside of the lid. It does fit on it because I've tried. You have to be forceful to get it on there and forceful to take it off. A little bit, you know. Okay, so this is our traveling treasure box. So I got some treasure at the Goodwill, and I have got it all nice and neat and wrapped up, and I'm going to put it in this box. And then we're 18 minutes in, so in a little bit we're fixing to change to part 2. It may be a part 3 one. I made a little traveling treasures notebook out of scrapbook paper. Now, I didn't, do no fancy job. And it's small. And when this is filled up, somebody else, whoever has it, will have to make a new one. You'll leave this in there and just add the new one to it. Alright, here is my notebook. And look, I thought that was perfect. I let a map paper, because it's a traveling treasure box, be the cover of the book, and I wrote on there Traveling Treasures Notebook. Now, and I've got it together with just this type of string right here. Now this is how I made it. Now what I've done, my treasure that I have wrote in here about my treasure, because the treasure has a story. I'm explaining my treasure in here. It's just a little bit of writing on one page.